Hey there! If you are a senior who's thinking about getting a medical alert device, or you're a caregiver who's looking out for somebody who does need to wear a medical alert device, you're going to want to stay tuned and keep watching, because today I'm doing a review of the Family1st Bell Plus medical alert device. So stay tuned. Hi, it's Robin with SeniorSafetyAdvice.com, and as I said in the opening, today I am going to do a review of Family1st's new medical alert device. So I've been testing this for about a month, and actually I have an unboxing video. You can look up there if you want to watch that. It tells you all about how the device comes packaged and what is in the package. But I'm really happy with this device. I have not ever used a medical alert device, so I don't have a comparison as far as the weight of it, but I have to tell you, I have not noticed it being an issue. You know, in the beginning, just like anything, you put it on and for a second you're like, but you totally forget about it after a minute. The device is really comfortable. It comes with a lanyard already attached to it, and the lanyard has the magnetic clasp, which makes it so nice for seniors that have arthritis, because you know, we all know, even if you don't have arthritis, it can be difficult to fasten the clasp. So it was just that easy. So the thing that is really nice about it too is that you can take that lanyard off, and then it comes with a belt clip, which I think is really cool, especially for a man. My dad would have never walked around with something around his neck that said medical alert device. It just, you know, he wouldn't do it. But he was fine having his phone attached to his belt. So by taking off the lanyard and using the clip, he would have been happy carrying or wearing the device, and then it would have been there had he fallen. That was always a big worry of mine, because for the first year after my mom passed away, my dad lived alone, and he would do work in the backyard, and they had a hill, and I'd say to him, you can't go up on this hill because if you fall down, nobody's going to know you're back here. So I wish he'd have had a medical alert device at that point. And that brings something else to mind. Another benefit of this is that it can have a fall detection device added to it. So it's a medical alert. So what you can do is you press the button here if you have an emergency at all. That will connect you to a care specialist, and they will help you with your emergency. But where I was going with this is that for a $5 monthly fee, in addition to the other costs, which we'll go over at the end, you can add fall detection. So the fall detection is really a neat thing. I am a runner. I worry sometimes about being out and running, and I always have my phone with me, but if you trip and fall, you know, what if you do that and you hit your head or whatever? So having something like this with a fall detection would be awesome for somebody. I'm going to tell you another personal story. My mother, before she passed away, in the year before she passed away, she came in from the garage carrying something in her hands. She tripped when she came into the kitchen, fell down, hit her shoulder, and she could not get up. The phone was on the counter right above her. She could see it, but she could not get up to reach it. So she laid there for an hour and a half before my father came home and found her on the floor. Now, if she'd had this device, first of all, it should have triggered an alarm anyway and alerted the care team. But if it hadn't, for some reason, she could have pressed this button on here and it would have immediately connected her. So I tried the fall detection part of it just to see what would happen. I dropped it on the floor, and then I waited, and within about 12 seconds or so, the device signaled that it was placing a phone call. So you know for sure that a call is being placed. Now in that mode, you can cancel it, cancel the call. But one of the things is that I also found out, and I think this is fabulous, is that once you press the button here that connects you to the care team, you cannot cancel that call until they have talked to you. So I did that, again, testing the device to make sure I could tell you all about it. When I pressed the button, tried to cancel it, couldn't, and within about 10 seconds or so, there was a friendly care specialist who was talking to me through the two-way voice on the device. She said, greeted me by name. Hello, Robin, what is your emergency? So I explained to her that I was just testing the device and I had tried to cancel the call so that it wouldn't, put anybody out or worry anybody. And she told me that it cannot be canceled in emergency mode like that until they have physically spoken with you to find out for sure that there is no emergency. I think that's great. Going back to my mother, what if my mother had pressed the button, then said, oh, well, I'm fine, I think I can get up. What if it had been a little different and she was able to get to her knees or whatever and get up, but then suddenly passed out? She would have canceled the call had this not been a feature that Family1st has. And then who knows? So in the case of their emergency system, like I said, that would be an awesome feature for somebody who might pass out. Okay, so what are some of the other features? The lanyard actually it's water resistant. The device is water resistant. This means that you can take it into the shower. Now, my former mother-in-law had an life alert. The life alert has the big button that says help, and it's on the side of the wall, and she had that by the bathtub. But now think about this. If she'd have slipped and fallen in the bathtub, she'd have had to find a way to get herself back up to press that button. And what if she'd have gotten wedged in there? It happens, and you cannot get up. And if the button's on the other side of the tub, she's out of luck. So again, this is very cool because not only do you not have to have that unsightly button, but you can take it into the shower and you can be assured that you still will have help if you fall. Another neat feature is that the device works anywhere that the Verizon system works in the country, which means that most of the country is covered. You do not have to have Verizon in order to get the coverage. It's just that Verizon's cell towers, the Family1st system triangulates off of the Verizon cell towers so that it can do the GPS signal and keep the connectivity. So that's really cool that you don't actually have to have the system, a Wi-Fi system, but you have that coverage like that. So speaking of GPS enabled, going back to my mother, if she had fallen in the house, for example, or me, I fell. I have a video, you can watch it, I'll link to it up here, but I have a video where I fell in a department store in September and I fractured my shoulder in 2 places. So how would the device have found me? Well, actually, it's got GPS tracking, so it can tell within a couple of feet where you are. So this is great because if you've got a senior loved one who has some dementia and wanders, you at least will be able to find them if they have this device. What about somebody, I grew up in South Florida. We had people who literally drove into canals or drove into lakes all the time. You'd have, the senior would have a heart attack or a stroke and into the water they go. At least this is going to be able to pinpoint pretty close to where they are if they're lost in the woods or whatever. So I think that's awesome. So this device is different, or Family1st is different than some of the other medical alert companies out there because there is no contract required for this. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you were to order this device today, your 30 days starts when you get it. If you try it out for a month like I did and you decide you don't like it, you can return it and get your money back. That is something totally different, and especially the no contract part. Again, going back to Life Alert, not to put them down because they're good, but they lock you into a 3-year contract. So my former mother-in-law was stuck with it, whether she liked it or she didn't, for 3 full years, unless the person passes away. So this is a nice thing too. As far as the account goes, the device comes with a really easy to use user guide that helps you understand how to use it, but it's a very simple system. Okay, so when you first go to order the device, You'll have a little bit of paperwork to fill out online. That's going to be things like, who do you want as emergency contacts? You can have up to 5 people who will be alerted if there is an emergency. Who is your physician and the contact information? Any allergies? What current medications are you on? All of these things you'll fill out, but then when the time comes that you get your device in the mail, you're going to call Family First to have it activated. They'll take care of inputting all of that information for you. So everything is set up. You can actually dictate how you want to have a response if there is an emergency. Do you only want to let family members know because, maybe they're right across the street and they can come over and see if you're okay? Or do you want to have emergency services respond to you if there's an emergency? So whatever your preferences are, that's what they'll input and that's what they will stick by if you do have an emergency. Okay, cons. I'm not sure I can really think of any cons. The system is really good about tracking where you are. There is actually, for caregivers, there is a website that you would be given access to, and that is going to show you where the device is located. So there's a find and there's also a track. The only issue that I really had, and it really wasn't much of an issue, was just I couldn't quite figure out how to use that part of it at the very beginning. But I emailed the representative for the company and asked my question. They got back to me, I think, within 5 or 6 hours, and I had my answer. Was very, it was easy. They walked me through what I needed to do, which was not difficult. I just was confused about how to do it. So my point is, their representatives are very good about responses. You can call if you have questions. I could have done that instead of emailing, and they also have a chat feature so you can get immediate answers to your question. So really, there aren't any drawbacks that I can think of. I really think the device is cool. So now you want to know about cost, I'm sure. Here is the cool thing. It is free. Yes, it is free. As I said, there's no contract required, but there's a monthly subscription fee. Right now, as I'm recording this in January of 2021, the subscription fee for the month is $32.95. However, you can also set up a bi-yearly or a yearly plan if you don't want to pay by the month, and that may change your pricing a little bit in your favor. You'd have to ask them to find out. But the other thing is right now, and I don't know how long it's going to last, so if you're even thinking about this, consider the money back guarantee, grab the device now. There's no activation fee right now. So their special is, that's $50 savings, their special that they're running for right now. But again, I don't know how long that will last. And then, as I said, the fall detection feature is an additional $5 a month. But trust me, being the person who fell a couple of months ago and broke my shoulder, I think it's priceless to have that fall detection feature. I mean, yes, I was in a department store and I had help in seconds, but what if I had been out running on a trail somewhere? I wouldn't have had that. And so I'm telling you, you need to get it. You won't regret it if you have an emergency. So that is my review. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to our channel. We put out a video every Friday with tips and tricks to help everybody age in place safely. The subscription button is down below, and also hit that notification bell after you subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when we do put out a new video. So I highly recommend the Family First Medical Alert device. I think it's a great deal. I think all seniors really should have something like this because you just never know, especially if you live alone. I'm going to link to our article about the review down below in the description. So check it out. Get yourself one of these. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.